Behold, we are live. Pick up sound, probably fine, alright. See what we got. Yeah, it'd be cool if I could get some super chats, it'd be awesome. Timestamps. 100%. Chat rate 1? What does that even mean? I'm trying to, hopefully the stream marker thing works. Y'all got an email from Netflix, y'all. They're saying Squid Game Season 3 is now on Netflix. I personally did not. I didn't even finish. I didn't even watch the first season, so. Tell y'all right now, I am dead. 100% tired. Just not. I'm here. I'm here. So working with what I got. So we just gonna do it. We're just gonna get it. So engage with your audience. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Yo, easy. What are you doing right now? I think that's a pretty good question. Maybe we'll do something interesting. I don't know what chat rate means, but it said 0. Now it says 1. I'm gonna check to make sure my phone's actually, or not my phone. I'm streaming on my potato PC right now. Let's see. I don't even have any views, so how's our chat rate anyway? Let's see what I got on YouTube. Man, this happens to me every time I get on here and then I forget what I'm doing. Pretty decent audio, so that's good. I know y'all can hear me, that's for sure. Alright, yeah, I'm not tripping. Good. this is basically going to be it, I guess. This is what we're going to do. Guess I'm just going to chat with you guys. I'm probably going to see this like afterwards, so. Had a pretty rough day today. I went to work, got off early. I actually, well, yeah, I guess I did. So, but anyway, I went to work. It's pretty slow. Just kind of had too much time, I guess. Time to contemplate and think about life, stuff like that. So, I think I was trying to do this a certain way, you know. I think I've said that before. It's like at the end of the day, I really just don't got that fire in me. I think it's because I think ahead. You know, I think too far ahead actually. So it's like I want to have a successful channel, but then it's like, you know, I'm sitting here creating crazy milestones that are just, you know, it's like not even realistic. But I mean, you know, I'm proud of the progress we've made so far. I mean, I think we're at like 73, 74 subs, you know, and that's all you guys, and I appreciate it. So it's pretty awesome. Hey, 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 welcome in, welcome in. What are you doing right now? That's the question. So I'm just sitting here blabbing about my life. That's pretty much it. Doing the one thing you probably shouldn't do on a live stream, is just blab. It's just a rough day. So it's it's just how it is. I tried to buy a capture card. I actually technically I did buy a capture card. Get it out of here. I bought this thing. So not sponsored. Not that I need to say that, but a Vivitar HDMI to USB capture card. Pretty cool concept. I want to say that this is a great option, but it's a little tough because um, you don't because it's got directly to the USB, right? No, I'm seeing backwards. That part just goes directly into your computer, and then this is where you plug in whatever it is you're capturing. Only problem with it is that the latency, which it says low latency on the box. Like it tries to hit that mark, which is cool. I tried it out yesterday. I was playing some Fortnite on Switch, and it just the latency is just it's too high. Um, I thought it was going to be pretty cool. Maybe they make one that's like has lower latency. Maybe that's what we're gonna do. Maybe let's do that. Let's see what your boy needs. Hold up, I'm dropping stuff. All right. Let's see. Let me open up the browser. Let me get us viewing the same thing. Oh, give me a second though. I gotta set this up. Let's see. Uh, I just re-downloaded. Oh, whoops. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to do that. Although I think it's cutting off the mic. Hello? Maybe not. Maybe you can still see me. I hope you can still see me, but it's because I still gotta set up all of the different. I just downloaded what is it? OBS Studio yesterday, but I haven't set anything up. Which, you know, you'd think I probably would have gone ahead and done it early, you know, like gone ahead of time. But I've found that that's actually been it's been my poison. So I try to do stuff too early, I guess, and then it makes me just not even want to do it because it feels like it's too overwhelming a task. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Trying to select a window to capture, and it's like, nah. Am I doing this wrong, or what? Probably. If I was doing it right, it would be working. So I'm gonna get rid of that, I guess. There's application audio. No. What the frick? It's create new. Do I have to like do something? Like, hold on. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna using Google on a Microsoft Edge browser. I don't know. You figured this would like say something. I don't know who's viewing, but thank you. I appreciate it. Your support means a lot. Oh, well, there you have it. I don't know why it wasn't popping up before. But there it is. So I gotta make sure this fits the screen, I suppose. I think it's fitting the screen. Oh, I've always noticed this. Like, if you're trying to do a web page, it's like not the right size. You know what I mean? Like, there's at the bottom there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, whoops. I'm I'm gonna bring it down. I'll put it there. See what I'm saying though? It's like at the top of the screen. How do I? There, that like black bar. But it, you know, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw this over there. No, no. I need it like this so it's easier to view. Well, not easier to view, but so that I can see the like all my stuff. You know what I mean? You know, honestly, at this point, maybe we just leave it looking messy. I don't know how to do this. Um, see, here's another thing where it's like, okay, so technically, I guess like I need a second display, even for just this basic thing that I want to do. I'm a broke boy. I ain't got nothing. I could probably go cop a monitor, but your boy does not even have a vehicle at this given time. Plus, a monitor is like $100, even if you get it like cheap from Walmart. Can I make this smaller? Oh, I can't. Alright, that's sick. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna do it like this. It's whatever. There. And we'll just all be happy about it. It's whatever, man. Whatever. What is that? Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. Anyway, um, All right. Well, anyway. Uh, what am I looking for? We're looking for, let's just call it video capture card. I had an Elgato. Not gonna get an Elgato. See, okay, this automatically is exactly what I'm looking for. So it has two HDMI ports, $25.99, USB 3.0. Maybe this is what we need. See, okay, look, this is crazy. I spent, dude, oh my gosh, it's on sale right now. This is exactly where I got it too. I went to Best Buy and I bought this for freaking $179. Basically, I paid $200, right? And keep in mind, this is a Nintendo channel, so like, I don't need specs like that. You know what I mean? Like, did not need to buy that, but I was, I didn't understand. I didn't know, so I bought that. I paid for that, and then the computer I'm using right now, I was like iffy about it. I wasn't even able to get it to work either. That's the other thing. I think something's off with those Elgatos, which is insane having to pay that price and then running into an issue. It's just freaking crazy. So I think that's definitely the way to go. What's this cable? Let's go ahead and check it out again. Oh, excuse me. Video capture card, HDMI input, HDMI output, 4K 60 hertz. That's the other thing. This has 4K on it, dude. The the one I bought, dude, seriously, look at this. Not even 4K. This is exactly the one I bought. This is the one I bought. HD 60 only does up to 1080p. That's the other thing. Now it says for Nintendo Switch 2. Don't do it. Don't ever buy it. Start with something like this. I guarantee you, 100%, for whatever flaws this may have, it will give you all the lessons you need to know without learning them after paying that. It's just a headache. It's terrible. This would work though. PS5, Switch camera. I love how it doesn't even say Xbox. It doesn't matter. Anyway, okay, so essentially, and what is this? We got a little cable down here. What is this, like for power, maybe? Okay, I see. So this is both sides. I was confused at first. So there's a USB 3.0 USB plug on one side. You have your mic input and you have your headset input. See, that's the thing. The Elgato doesn't have that. I don't have that at all. It's got one port. It has a port on the front side. If you can see, like in the image, if I click it, it gets in the way. All right, let me see if I can. If you see like this little dot here, this speck on this picture, I don't know why I didn't just open this already. Okay, look at this. This thing right here. There's just this one port here, this one aux port. So then you're like, okay, well then what is it for? Doesn't even have a label on it. And from how I think it worked, because it did work temporarily, very shortly. This is like the mic. What was it? I think it's like the mic input, like for your chat, for when you're chatting, you're like playing online, something like that. So now I do know like the idea is that this is supposed to be an easy, like you buy this and then you buy something called the chat link cable, and then you're supposed to plug that in, but it didn't work at all. It sucked. It sucked. The capture card works, like it's a decent device, but like for what I was trying to do, it was one, it was overkill, and two, it was still complicated. Like what's crazy is that I was like, I bought this because it was like, well, it's the name brand, and so I should have reliable support. And I can say confidently, I have never seen anything that I was so wrong about. Where I just was like, oh, surely, because look at all these pictures, look at all this official like. I've heard of Elgato for years, so I just thought it was a reliable brand, and I'm just kind of like, well, eh. So this thing right here, this I'm kind of stoked about because I can see everything I need. And I think the one thing I will need, I watched this video a long time ago of this guy who basically was like, in fact, we might as well watch it. Just go ahead and head over to the tube. Watching YouTube while streaming on YouTube. Oh, that's not even a first. People do that all the time. Yeah, we're at 75. I didn't even realize, guys. Congrats. We're at 75. That is awesome. I really appreciate you guys. All their moves. I need to play Fire Emblem Heroes more. What I like about Fire Emblem, I don't know if it's all the franchise. I'm still kind of fresh to Fire Emblem. I have not actually completed the game yet, but from what I've played in Fire Emblem Heroes, it's like all of the names that they have are basically references to pantheons. So it's like Baldur is probably derivative of the Norse mythology. So I used to play PlayStation exclusively. So played God of War 2018, Ragnarok, and I know Baldur was one of the characters in that game. But it's always like, let's check it out. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on. Before we even go crazy, I just want to make sure that like the audio doesn't suck because I'm realizing I don't want my PC picking up the audio with the internal mic. Wish I had a better mic. I think I have a better mic, but hold on. We're just gonna test it because let's play it safe. Hold on. I don't know. That sounded good. That's gonna play through the speakers now. Before we even go crazy, I just want to make sure the audio doesn't suck because we're gonna Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. I should charge my phone, but I'm too lazy. So, let's see. See, that's the thing. Okay, so this is Baldur. Oh yeah, okay. So whatever that was, I don't know. Also, I always like Nintendo's videos because that's what we're doing here. What? that was kind of crazy, but yeah. Anyway, point is, Baldur, as I understand it, at least from God of War, it's like a dude, but like in this series, it doesn't seem like the characters stick to any mythology from their respective pantheons. It's like essentially it's like Nintendo or whoever's behind a Fire Emblem just kind of creates their own backstory and just gives the characters these names and kind of builds like this set of these characters in like a different light, I guess. So like this is Baldur, which is totally cool. And then like this here clearly I think it's pronounced Hathor and Volley. Yeah, it's definitely like those are Norse in origin. So that's the idea. That's the idea right there. But anyway, that's not what we came here for. See, this is what YouTube does, you know. I'm totally cool with it. Hey there, welcome. Thanks for viewing. We're just checking stuff out. I'm actually trying to figure out the best setup for the Nintendo stuff. So let's take a look here. Take a look here. Wait, breaking news. What's going on? Okay. I no longer have any interest. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find the video that I found, because this guy basically told me everything I needed to know. And I'm pretty sure like there's one thing I'm forgetting, because I know I'm gonna have to return this capture card that I bought because it doesn't have everything I need. So let's see how to. I think it was like stream, or maybe it was like Nintendo Switch streaming setup. I almost put a question mark at the end of that. Okay, all right, hold on. Oh, it's this guy. It's this guy. It's Midnight Man. Shout out to this guy.
With AI.
Shout out to this guy who pretty sick. I guess what is there a thing like if you watch the ads, then like the ad revenue goes to the person, or not the ad revenue, but you know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's a thing. If it is a thing, I guess we're watching most of the ads sometimes. Okay.
Nintendo Switch gameplay to social media platforms such as
Yeah, this is the guy.
YouTube, Facebook, or Kick. You're not the first person to think of this, and you definitely won't be the last. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to
Definitely not the
transform
last.
your regular Nintendo Switch gaming setup into a professional streaming setup, all while using a MacBook laptop.
See, that's the thing. I don't have the MacBook. I'm not going to buy a MacBook for this. I'm going to continue to try to use a little potato computer. I did find, here's the thing, story about my PC. When I was getting into the concept of like making a YouTube channel / streaming at first, I I didn't really know anything, and I kind of just went gung ho, and I was an idiot. So I think we purchased this potato PC for about $600. Not a very good price for it because it's an all-in-one. So it's one of those PCs where the PC is just built into the monitor essentially, and then you just have your peripherals connect to the monitor. So, which just means no customization, and whatever you buy is just kind of stuck in there. So. I bought it, and then when I set it up, it was preloaded with a bunch of junk, obviously, and then yeah, for years I just kept trying to use it as it was, and it just sucked. Well, this time I actually just recently reset this computer, and I like really reset it. So I reset it, and the first thing I did, just absolutely first thing I did, as soon as it turned on, and let me set up my user profile, whatever, was I went to the settings and I uninstalled every single app that it would let me uninstall. Every single one, just all of them, every single one. Other than whatever I had to keep. So it was like, I think it started with like 40 apps that the computer found, straight from being boot up and like factory reset. And I think I have it down to 7. There are 7 apps on this computer. And all of those apps I deleted had background processes that just absolutely tanked this computer's ability to even run anything simultaneously. Like, yeah, the camera still sucks, and the mic isn't the best quality. And I guess I technically have a mic. So that's something I could fix, honestly. Like, I may even just do that right now, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's watching who's like actually watching or not, but like, let me know if you're down for me to try, I guess, or not. I may just do it anyway. Anyway, long story short, I'm not buying a MacBook. I think this computer may be able to, you know, at least give me what I'm looking for. So here we go.
Now, you guys are probably already avid Nintendo Switch gamers, meaning you have your Nintendo Switch console in the way that...
Except for I don't, because I'm an idiot and I make mistakes constantly. Like, hey, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I'm gonna go trade it in for something that I'm gonna want for 2 days. So I don't even have my own Switch. We have a Switch, but like I would like to have my own again. But I will have one soon. So anyway.
you game with it already. But when it comes to live streaming with the Nintendo Switch console, you're going to need to have the docking station as well as a monitor or TV to be able to plug that docking station into. So at a fundamental level, you're going to need to be gaming with your Nintendo Switch console with the screen inside the docking station. And I'll explain why in just a second. The computer...
Yeah, honestly, I think I just need one piece of information in here. Yo, look, it's the most replayed too. Check it out, look.
So that's going to route the audio.
Okay, see, that's what's crazy. That's the cable I have. That's right there. That's the Elgato Chatlink cable.
Audio that's coming through the console.
But what's funny is I don't think you need that one.
So the perfect device to use is the Elgato Chatlink Pro cable. To set it up, take the side of the cable with the two connectors and take the male input and plug that into the Nintendo Switch console. That's going to route the audio that's coming through the console into this Chatlink Pro cable. With the female connector, you can plug your headphones into this port. Now the long end of the cable, make sure that you have ground isolation turned on, so that will get rid of any electric or static sound. And we're just going to take our capture card and plug in the...
Bro, that's literally the one. That's the capture card. That is literally the one I just saw on Amazon. That's the one. That's literally the one right there. I'm about to buy that. I'm about to buy that. I'm buying the capture card.
Into the line in or the mic input of the capture card. Next, we need to take the HDMI cable.
Wait, plugging into which one?
Line in or the mic input of the capture card. Next, we need to take the HDMI cable that's going into the monitor. And we're going to plug that into the HDMI in slot of the capture card.
And then you just plug in an HDMI cable into the out. Oh, actually, I totally forgot. Okay, so a friend of mine, he actually told me that he's going to slide through with the capture card tomorrow. So we may actually be having some games and stuff going tomorrow. I don't know, hopefully. Truth be told, your boy is, I want to say broke. I guess so, I don't know. Essentially, I'm making money. Just enough to pay bills. Actually, well, yeah, just enough to pay bills, basically. So that's why the content's been a little bit dry. Because while I can probably still make shorts, you know, make some content like that, you know, my soul inside is basically tarnished and burnt to nothing. You know, it's all worn out, and so I don't even... It's been a little rough lately, so...
So now we have an HDMI connection between the Nintendo Switch and the capture card. And then next you're going to want to take a second HDMI cable or whatever HDMI cable that came with your capture card. Plug that into the HDMI out slot of your capture card. And then take that HDMI cable and plug it into the back reading from the Nintendo Switch to be pushed to the monitor or TV that you're using so that you can see your gameplay while you're playing it. We just now need the USB cable that came with your capture card to be plugged into the device, and then the other end of that to be plugged into the computer. I'm gonna use this Moken dongle here because it's been Mr.
Yeah, I will not have that issue. I don't need a dongle because I'm gonna plug it straight into this potato.
Reliable for being able to connect anything to my Mac 2.0 Pro. So now when we do that, the monitor should come back on.
Selling your car to Carvana is easier than you think. In just...
Yeah, so the big thing here, right, is that when I did this with the Elgato, with that 10, whatever the thing was called, it literally did everything that any capture card would do. The big thing though was that because it had that single port, I don't really know. It's probably something just on my end where I could have like gone into the, because it recommends you download this like utility app that basically lets you like mess with the customization for the capture card, like the configurations. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, dude, why? I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. It's like this is why I'm not a PC gamer. Okay, and I know it's kind of dumb. It's like, man, what are you talking about? As I, you know, all I have to do is learn some stuff. But it's like, look, man, I just want to play my Nintendo and I want to share it, my gameplay, and that's it. That's all I want to do. That's it.
Or a live streamer. Up first is a webcam. So if you are comfortable showing your face, it adds in 360 features like big camera is on a 3-axis gimbal. And I'm gonna show you guys here, it can't have a web size 10-inch. This is one of my first pieces of light in your mind, made by Fifun. XLR connecting this thing is solid. I used to have one if there's an already got it that with just to the machine. And with that, play new.
Somebody told me the Streamlabs is basically just OBS. Like somebody, I don't know if it was true or not, but somebody tried to tell me that Streamlabs is basically just OBS with different like just recoded, not recoded, but like with a paint job essentially is what they told me. Like the functions are all the same. Like I think they were trying to tell me like the code is copy and pasted or something. Because OBS is, you know, I think it's what's it called? Open source. So, yeah. But anyway. Yep, shout out to Midnight Man. That's what I need to know. Essentially, you have to have like, what did you call it? Say like an audio splitter? Is that what he called it? Okay.
This is the Rivals in 4K capture card. It's only $35.
I found one for 25.
And it's probably one of my favorite cheap capture cards that I've ever used. In order to record audio out of the Nintendo Switch, you're going to need to pull it from the analog port at the top. So the perfect device to use is the Elgato ChatLink Pro cable. To set it up, take the side of the cable with the two...
See, this was tough, so essentially I have to buy it. That's okay, though. I will say this. I tested the cable over and over and over extensively. The cable was working just fine. And the cable's only like $20, but the cable was working just fine. Like, there was nothing wrong with that cable. So it had to be some kind of like configuration with the capture card. Or I was just purely an idiot and I didn't know what I was doing. I gave the capture card to my brother-in-law, and I hope he's making good use of it. I hope it's treating him well. But so the funny thing here is that technically speaking, you don't have to have the analog cable. You don't have to plug it in. It'll capture the game audio. The only problem is at that point it's like, what was the issue? I do remember it was like, oh, the problem is that at that point, if you don't plug it in through there, then you can't like chat at all with anyone on the system, if that makes sense. Like the capture card will get all it'll get all of the sorry, it'll get all of the video and audio, but then it's like if you're playing like Fortnite or something, right? It's like your team's not going to be able to hear you. And if you plug the audio jack into the system, then the audio is going to switch from the HDMI to your aux. So essentially it's like if you plug in your headset, you'll still have video on your stream, but your stream won't hear any of the game audio at all. It'll basically just be like silent. So it's a trade-off, but it's like one where it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, you're gonna want to do this anyway. So so I need to basically buy a capture card for $25, and then and the ChatLink Pro. So essentially, I'll be out $45, which I don't even think I can do right now, to be honest. So no surprise there. Um, but that's okay, right? That's all right. So yeah. Anyway, again, one more time, shout out to Midnight Man. That guy's awesome for having posted that video. I saw it just months ago, but it's a if you are also like wanting to. So, cool thing is, honestly, that works with anything. So it's not even just Switch, but like he's dope for posting that. So anyway, oh, oh, I am so tired. Oh, I guess they all have these pictures. Okay, I'm just kind of realizing like maybe this device is just like a simple thing. You know what I mean? Who knows? But anyway, while we're here, I wanna look up something else though. Because what is this? This is a what is this called? HDMI to USB. Let's see what kind of options they have for this. See, obviously this one's cheaper. However, right, the problem here is that with a device like this, you need low latency because what you can do with this is you can like you plug it directly into the computer and then you just plug your device that you're using. So like for example for me, I would plug my Switch's HDMI cable into this and plug that into the computer, and then it would just show up on my computer screen. The thing is, however, right, is that you have to worry about the latency. You know what I mean? So it's like the idea of being able to just like use the monitor that you are. I mean, you have to have a computer. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to have a computer for this process. So it's like if you have to have a computer, it would be convenient if you were able to just basically like plug your device into your computer and then just display your device's video on that screen. You know what I mean? Like that would be super, super convenient. And it's a real thing. You can do that. I did it last night with the one that I have. But the problem is the latency. And like that's why these other capture cards, they don't do that. So like I don't exactly know how it works. You know what? Let's learn. Let's learn. Let's see. No. Okay. What's the question here? Why does a HDMI to USB capture card have higher latency than a what do we call it? Like a standard HDMI card? A standard capture card. That's the question. And the answer is that you the processing time is why, that's everybody, that's just obvious. Everybody knows that. So HDMI to USB capture cards need to convert video signals to a format suitable for USB transmission. Ah, there it is. There it is. So essentially every capture card has the latency thing. Because even the other ones do the same thing, where it's like when you look at like on your monitor, on your PC, when you look at the footage that it's recording, that has latency too. But that's why you want a capture card that has two HDMI ports so that you can get the footage to your computer, but then you can have the other HDMI cable plugged into a second display because that second display has low latency. So you can see what you're playing without the delay. This conversion process introduces latency as the card encodes and compresses the video data before sending it to the computer. The processing involves extra steps that can lead to significant delays, particularly when using USB 2.0 connections, which may cause latency from 50 milliseconds to 150 milliseconds, depending on the card's design and capabilities. Data bandwidth also is one of the very obvious reasons. So, it's kind of a dumb question. USB connections can have bandwidth limitations compared to PCIe interfaces used by standard capture cards. USB 2.0 has a lower data transfer rate than PCIe, which affects how quickly data can flow between the capture card and the computer. Then there's also, pass-through tech, latency variation, and, user experiences. So there's a bunch of obvious stuff. That's such a dumb question. I don't know why you even asked that. Me. That's such a dumb question. So, I do wonder though. Okay, so is there a way to have no latency with a HDMI USB capture card? Out of curiosity, it's a good question too. I think this is a good question. The other one was dumb. This is a good question though. Ensure your capture card is connected to a USB 3.0 port. USB 2.0 can introduce significant latency due to lower bandwidth. If your capture device is running on USB 2.0 speed, switch to a USB 3.0 port to enhance performance. To ensure maximum efficiency, use the USB 3.0 cable that came with your device. Well, it didn't come with the ones though. Configure your capture software like OBS to match the recommended resolution frame rate of your capture card. For instance, setting the capture resolution to 1920 at 1080 at 6 FPS can help avoid frame drops that cause lag, avoid exceeding the bandwidth limitations such as trying to capture 4K 60 FPS. Yeah, I wasn't really trying to do that. So, use an HDMI pass-through to send the HDMI signal directly to the monitor as well to the capture card. Huh, what? What is this? What is this option? What is this option? This method allows you to play the input without the additional processing delays that occur when the signal is captured via USB. And then sent back to the display. Pass-through connections effectively reduce the perceived input lag. Do you think maybe one of these is a decent option? Maybe this is possible. Maybe this is possible. Should we try this? We could try this. You just see if it works. Wouldn't hurt, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I don't even fully understand what I read, so let's read it again. What? Use an HDMI pass-through. What isn't? Okay, you know what? That's probably what. Use an HDMI to send the HDMI signal directly to the monitor. This probably is a dumb question actually, 100%. Because this is basically just saying HDMI is a feature that allows audio and video signals to be routed from one HDMI to just without alteration, enabling convenient device switching and seamless multimedia integration. HDMI allows a device, typically an AV receiver or soundbar, to pass the video and audio signals from an HDMI input to an HDMI. This means that even if the receiver or soundbar is turned off, the signal can still reach the connected TV from a source. Oh, well, that's quite literally, that's what the other ones are. So, that's the answer to that. And I just backed out of that whole conversation. So, essentially, we're done. So, I guess, honestly, we're just going to go ahead and pick up this boy here. Or, not that one. The other one. That's crazy, man. I could have ordered. I'm kind of glad that I didn't order it on Amazon, though. So then it would have taken me forever to get it. Not forever, a couple days. Would have taken a couple days to get here, then for me to find out I didn't need it, and then for me to figure out I need one of these. So, oh, and it has USB 3.0. USB 3.0. Whoa, heck yeah. I could. That's the other thing. I should have thought about this. I can always just basically use this, right? And like, if I want to try to have the HDMI, like if I want to try to use my monitor, because I don't have I don't have a good second display. I have this potato PC, and I have the TV, which is like just huge. And like, if you watch any of my previous videos where I was playing and I was doing game capturing, like you can see that I essentially like I have. Well, I guess you can't see, but like I would be like this in the face cam, where essentially I'd be like looking off to this side, and I'd be playing the game, So problem is that I don't really like the way that the way I gotta pull my TV off the wall. My setup is just weird, straight up. It's just is how it is. So just is how it is. Oh, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like so tired right now. It's only 7:46 p.m. The sun is not even down, and I'm sitting here feeling like down and out, dude. So it's crazy. Don't know what's up with that. Don't know what's up with that. Hope everyone's good, having a good 4th of July. Yarp. Covering our bases here, saying a bunch of basic stuff. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot what I was doing. I was getting on my phone to check something on the stream. But, so, that's crazy, dude. Every time I ever streamed before now, this mic just always sounded like it 100% sucked. But now I'm feeling like, all right, this kind of works. This ain't too bad, you know. So I will say though, this channel. Let's get real. Let's get real. I had quite a journey with the concept of doing this channel. just just back and forth. And it's not even the thing is that it's not even back and forth of like me wanting to do it. It's that I want to do it, but I am just life is just kicking me around, dude. Like I went to work today and just absolutely by the time I got off work, I was just pure sadness, just pure absolute degradation of my soul. So it's just I was talking to my friend earlier, and it's just trying to get myself out of it. I feel like I don't know, I'm in a bit of a personal pit right now, but it's not one that it's not like I'm stuck in it or something. It's just like this is the thing, this is the trial. So this is I don't even know. I can't even lie. I don't know what it looks like to succeed in this, and I think really it's not even this. Like this is not stressing me out at all. It's more so it's just like what happened today was essentially that like I had so much time to think about the fact that hey, thanks for the view, appreciate it. Um, I had so much time to think about the fact that like by the time I work a lot, I go to work. By the time I get off of work, just the energy that I would give to you guys, to the content, to videos, it's just completely gone. It's gone. And I'm just like, it makes me wonder, like, how many YouTubers, how many Twitch streamers, how many of them had to, like, throw on a face, or did they? You know what I mean? Like, did they throw on a face, or were they just real with their audience? Or maybe they weren't. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't really, I don't know what it looks like. And I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to look like. It's one of those things where it's like, that's why I kind of, I get on here every once in a while. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's not supposed to look like anything, right? Maybe you're just supposed to do it, you know? So today is one of those days where I feel like I'm just supposed to do it. So I hop on, you know, no viewers really, which is fine. It is what it is. Like, also, the other thing is, like, YouTube just there's like a billion content creators at this point. So it's like, why, you're going to fight against the grain. But I don't know. I know consistency is big. Like, I know the fact that, like, essentially I gotta find a way to make sure that I show up. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't, which is hard. It's hard because also I'm married, right? So, like, the only reason I'm on right now is because, like, my wife is at work. Like, yeah, she wouldn't mind if I was like, hey, I'm gonna try to stream. She's fully supportive. But it's like, at that point though, that it's like, okay, but if I'm feeling this tired and this exhausted, like, clearly I'm gonna want to spend time with my wife, right? It's like she's my best friend, and it's just like a million things, man. You know what I mean? Makes me feel like this. Oh, makes me feel like that. Well, maybe not like that. He looks like he's cheering. It just makes me feel like this. Yeah, there you go. Makes me feel like that. Is what it is. Though, I was saying something to him. I was like, you know, as down as I currently feel, it's not something I would let last. I can't, I can't stay down for too long. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, are you gonna give up then? Are you giving up yet? Or I'm not giving up. I don't want to give up. So it's like, okay, well, if you're not giving up, then what are we doing here? Like, what are you talking about? You know, if you're not giving up, all right, take a second, but get up. Let's go. Try again. You know, just don't give up. And it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like when people have struggles, I think they hear that a lot, where it's like, don't give up. But it's always the internal stuff that's always like, that's what gets you. It's that internal stuff where you're just like, everyone can tell you to keep going, but you have to basically tell yourself that you have to be the one to do it, because all the doubt and the tiredness and all this stuff, it's internal. It's all inside of you. It's in your mind. It's in your head. It's in, today it's in my head. So it's like, the feelings I'm overwhelmed by, this sense of tiredness, this exhaustion, and it's like an argument is made from within you that it's like, it's just not worth it, and that you're just not going to make it, and you can't do this. So, and it just kind of slowly builds up until it gets to that thing where it's like, you should give up. Maybe this is it. Maybe you shouldn't do this. You should give up. And that's where, it's like, well, Do you want to? Is that what you want to do? You know, it'd be, it's one thing if it's like you find out, like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I actually really just don't like this. It's another thing if it's like you do like it, but you feel like you are just having to, you know, just give so much energy to do something, and you're like, is this even going to be worth it? And I guess for me, it's like, I'm like, I viewed it as worth it before, so what is it that's changed it for me not thinking it's worth it now? And it's like, man, if you can't find anything, you still want to do it. It's like, yeah, okay, well then don't give up. You got to go back. You got to go and you got to find what made you feel that way or think that way. And you got to be like, no, you're wrong. There ain't no reason to give up. I'm not giving up. I want this. I want to do this. And you kind of have to redefine success and kind of and just not give up. Just have to keep going. So my biggest struggle when it comes to my mission for this channel is that it's, in a way, it's kind of undefined. I had somebody ask me, they were like, well, what do you want to do? And at first I kind of danced around, I guess, my true intentions. And they were like, well, okay, yeah, but what do you want to do? And what I told them was, because they asked me, and I said, you know what? I said, what I want to do is I want to be, and before I told them, I said, I've gotten past the point in my life where I've gotten to the point, I guess you could say. I've gotten to the point where, I've already realized that you can you can choose whatever you want as success. You can do whatever you'd like to do. Now, you have, there's struggles and there's challenges and stuff like that, but no matter what it is, you can choose what you would like to do. You can be whatever you want. And if somebody doesn't think it's a worthy goal, it's like, okay, great, more power to them for thinking little of whatever it is, but it doesn't have to mean anything for you. And so I told him, I said, this may be lame to somebody else, but I for some reason, I was like, I don't really care. This is what I want. It feels like I just danced around the whole thing again. I think I'm hearing fireworks. Happy 4th, y'all. Which I already know it's going to be cops because I live in an apartment complex, so it's illegal to even, but happy 4th anyway. I told him, I said, if I already had all the money in the world, if I wasn't tripping on any struggles, if I wasn't tired with any of this stuff, I said, if I could do whatever I wanted, I said, I would be the #1 Nintendo content creator in the world. Like, sure, it'd be cool if I had a partnership with Nintendo, or if I got to work with them, which is a personal goal. Like, I would love that. Nintendo, if you ever are looking for a sad, lonely Nintendo dude who would really like to just kind of go further beyond into the Nintendo universe, the Nintendo sphere, I'm here. Fat chance you guys will see me. But I'm here. So, but aside from that, even without sponsorship, whatever, I would want to be the #1 Nintendo content creator in the world. And I guess when I think about that, it's like, okay, and I guess this is the idea. That's why I was bringing it up. And now I'm like, okay, this is as good a time as any to probably try to figure something out. But like, what does that mean? Like, I need to define that. Like, that is the truth, is that's what I want. I would really enjoy being just kind of like the guy. You know what I mean? I've been the guy for other things before, where it's like, I used to be an Apple guy. So it was like I would always tell my family about stuff that they didn't know. They were like, I didn't know I could do that. And they would tell me, they'd be like, you should make a YouTube video. And I was like, oh, yeah. Same thing when I had my PlayStation era, It's like, yo, this, and this, and whatever. But well, I found Nintendo, and after having had phases before, I thought this was gonna end up the same way, where it's like, oh, this might fade off, so I probably shouldn't do anything with it. Every time I've tried to kind of get rid of this, this must be like a thing. 'Cause what people I hear a lot from people where it's like, you don't really stop Nintendo. Once you have Nintendo, you may take breaks. You may absolutely despise them, even for a long period of time. But for some reason, you'll still probably enjoy something. You'll still probably, in some way or another, like still purchase or take part in some Nintendo related something. And it's like you can't get away. You could be mad, and then this is just it's a company that personally I'm like, I'm just interested in the business model. I am obsessed with the pride they have about their properties and the way that they just work. Because, in my opinion, it just feels like it does work. Um, I know that as consumers, we all kind of look at things and we have a lot of skepticism, and even I do too. Like the Switch 2, as great a device, as great of a device as the Switch 2 is, it is something that, like, from my standpoint, now being a couple years into Nintendo, it's like I worry. Is this are we on the down path now? Of like, okay, is it gonna get worse from here? Um, I mean, because there's a lot. I mean, that's kind of everywhere. It's like same thing with PlayStation and Xbox. Although I'm actually kind of feeling like Xbox may be picking up soon. Not in the way that I think everybody hoped, but I think they got a strategy, and I think it's gonna play out pretty well. But aside from that, I definitely just Nintendo has been like is my go-to thing. Like I, but what's funny is that I guess to some degree it's kind of like this. It's kind of weird. It's like clearly there are people in life where even if you have everything you want, one of the things that you look for afterward is being able to take all the things that you have that you wanted and sharing them with somebody else so that you can share the joy that was brought to you, with someone else. And it just feels like what happened is that Nintendo was introduced to me at a time later in life where I could afford to purchase my own stuff. I I purchased it. I saw the magic and the wonder, and it got me. And then I just thought, wow, this is so cool. And as I experienced everything, one piece at a time, it just kept feeling new, new and new and new. And it was all incredible. Even just from my own standpoint, even most of the times where it was just me, like single player games by myself, just experiences having alone with the Switch and like finding the neat little features or just doing a little research on Nintendo, whatever it was, right? It's like I had those experiences, and then around the time where it's like you feel like, okay, you've kind of found everything that exists so far. It's kind of like where it's like, man, well, I really like this. This is really awesome. I would love to keep the fun going and, like, I guess share this with more people. Like have more people to do this stuff with, play these games with. And yeah, that was just kind of what finally kicked this channel off, at least. I mean, that's the origin of this channel. It's essentially that, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start talking about Nintendo on YouTube and stuff like that. So that's why this channel's here. That's why I'm even live streaming. Um, and it's a pretty cool thing, you know. So I gotta be honest. I'm not realizing from like a YouTube standpoint though, like thinking in terms of like random traffic, right? Because like says I have 3 views right now. How accurate that is, I don't know. But if Shorts is what put me in the place I'm at right now, right? Then I should probably be streaming on the Shorts platform, which I can do from my phone, and I have a better camera. Now, I can't share anything, but I think we're at the point now where it's like I don't even need to. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Like I don't know. And I get real technical about stuff too. I really shouldn't because I think we're at a stage right now where it's like it really does not matter. Like I don't need to be thinking that much about it. I think too much sometimes, for sure. So, but this all goes back, just all boils back into that's why I started this channel. That's why I'm doing this. Is because I I actually like Nintendo as a company. I like their products. It's something that like actually makes me wish that I could go back in time and maybe experience some of this stuff firsthand when it was fresh and when it was new. Like first thing I did, a friend and I we were hanging out and I was showing him all the Nintendo stuff and I saw this video of like I think we can probably watch them sometime. I hope the creators don't mind, but like if they do, I understand. But like there's just like videos of just old stuff, just really old stuff. Like I don't remember what it was called, but essentially it was like watching the past live in front of you. It gave me instant nostalgia. And what's weird for me is like I don't exactly know why, but I get the feeling of nostalgia just from stuff that I know is old, that is from an era outside of my existence, or just an experience outside of my existence at a previous point in time. So it's like there's stuff that I didn't experience as a kid, you know what I mean? But like I don't know if maybe it's like an empathetic thing. I think that's the right word. But it's like the DS. I never had a DS. Now my friend had a DS, right? So I'd seen one. So like when I see a DS, it kind of takes me back to that age at least, from what I can remember. And then it just kind of makes me think about, man, what else was going on at that time? And it just feels like mentally my brain time travels. And it's just like, yo, what year is it? Where are we? What's going on right now? And I feel like that's what nostalgia does, maybe, is it just gives you that sense of like mentally just taking you back and giving you that feeling of like almost like if you couldn't see anything, like if you close your eyes, right, and you just turned off everything visually around you that gave you indicators that you weren't back in at that time, right? That like you could feel like you were really there. And yeah, anything that kind of just triggers that feeling essentially is just like I don't know. I just love it. But anyway, watching those videos, it's like one of the videos I think is like shopping at Toys R Us in like the '90s or something, and it's so weird. It's just a video of uh, it's just a video of like somebody with a video camera, just walking around with a video camera, not speaking, no mic, no, they're not showing their face. They're just recording. They're just recording people shopping at like it makes you feel like it's a time traveler that was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back in time and record this stuff. I'm gonna post it later. It's bizarre, but it's so like for some reason it is comforting to me. I totally realized I just totally forgot. I was like in the middle of a thought somewhere earlier than this, but my friend, that's what I brought up. My friend and I would joke with him and say like, if we ever get the chance to time travel, like we'll go back the age that we are right now, and we'll travel back to like 1985 or something. So that way we can be there when the NES drops in America, and then by the time we reach where we're at now, we'll be old and probably retired or whatever, or probably rich. 'Cause probably gonna Back to the Future. Gotta play some bets, make some investments. Although I've so many times been like, oh, but we don't want to alter the timeline. It's like, well, what are we talking about? Anyway, um, yeah, that's essentially, it's kind of like my testimony, I guess, of this channel, why it exists, and I'm not gonna give up. I am not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep going, and maybe one day I will look back on this stream and I'll just remember how I felt right now and how I just felt like giving up, and like I felt like there was just really no reason for me to think that I could possibly be one of the honorable few content creators. Well, I say honorable few, I don't know, but one of the few content creators out there that gets the privilege of being permitted a life where they get to talk about what they love and they get to live their lives doing that. So, maybe I'll look back and I'll remember all of this, and I will just be grateful I didn't give up. So, I'm honestly going to hit this add stream marker button. Just wanted to see what that did. So, anyway, I'm probably going to charge my phone. And like I have one of my friends over, so he's just chilling in there playing on his Switch too. Which if he had his dock, we'd be probably putting some of that on the stream, but here's what it is. Well, to answer the question that I put out that no one's here to answer, what are you doing right now? Not giving up. That's what I'm doing. I'm not giving up. And we're not gonna give up. So if you see this later on, I appreciate you watching. I do want to thank all of my subscribers again for subscribing. Comment on any of my videos, like any of my videos, but comment what you'd like to see on the channel. Let me know. I'm down to try some stuff out. I'm gonna make content, and I know that this is one of those things where it's like, I guess, so long as you don't give up, you learn. You learn, and you get better, and yeah. So I'm so tired right now. Funny enough, I think I'm gonna try to live stream from the phone after this. So we'll see. Because at this point, I'm thinking logically, perhaps it will bring more viewers. I don't know. But anyway, if you did watch, thank you for watching. And I hope that you are having a wonderful 4th of July. And I hope to see you later on. And thank you. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I always hate that. It's like you want to hit a button and you want it to just be over. But then there's that thing that says like, are you sure you want to... It's only because I didn't know it was going to do that. So at this point now, I can